For the best price, click the link in the description. I've got a surprise for you today, a device that's been flying under the radar but is about to change everything. But here's what surprised me. The Quick 936A has been gaining traction with reviewers who claim it's more than just a gadget, it's a life changer. What do we mean by that? Well, let me tell you, I've scoured the reviews and there are some serious claims being made about this thing. Some people say it's faster than their current method of doing X, Y, or Z. Others claim it's more efficient, and in one case, even improved their daily productivity by 50%. But what if I told you that there's something even more interesting going on here? Something that could completely flip the script on how we approach this particular problem. It turns out that the Quick 936A is not just a device, it's an ecosystem. And within that ecosystem, there are several key components that make up its magic. First off, let's talk about speed. Reviewers have consistently mentioned that this thing can do X in record time, which has had a ripple effect on their daily routine. But then there's the matter of accuracy and precision, which some claim is even more impressive than speed. But how does it actually work? Well, as far as I've gathered from online forums and reviews, here are the key takeaways. 1. The Quick 936A leverages advanced algorithms to streamline processes. 2. It integrates seamlessly with existing software and hardware. 3. Users can customize settings to suit their specific needs. Now you might be thinking, great, but what about the naysayers? Well, let me tell you, there are a few red flags that have popped up. Some reviewers mention issues with battery life while others express frustration at the learning curve. However, I'd argue that these concerns pale in comparison to the benefits. But here's the question. Can we really trust what strangers on the internet are saying? Don't get me wrong, reviews are essential, but there's something missing from this particular discussion. It seems like everyone is only scratching the surface of what this device can do. I'm about to dive deeper and see if we can uncover some hidden gems. Let's talk specifics. Reviewers have praised its compatibility with various operating systems, ease of setup, and sleek design. But there are a few caveats that have raised concerns among early adopters. It seems like the most significant issue is user error, or rather, the lack thereof on the part of the Quick 936A. It's not just what this device can do, it's how it can change our daily lives. Think about it. If you're currently using a clunky old tool that's eating into your productivity, wouldn't you want to know more? If you're spending hours doing something tedious when it could be done in a fraction of the time, don't you deserve better? We've all been there, stuck with outdated technology or bogged down by inefficient workflows. But what if I told you that this particular device has already helped numerous people break free from those shackles? That's right. Some reviewers are claiming they've increased their work capacity by up to 200% and more since switching to the Quick 936A. Of course, there's always a fine line between hype and reality. We all want to believe that the latest gadget will revolutionize our lives, but what if this one actually does? It's time for some cold hard facts, folks. I've been poring over online forums and reviews, and I've found something interesting. Not only is the Quick 936A gaining traction with users, but it also seems to be generating a lot of interest from content creators. It looks like people are starting to wake up to its full potential. Here's what really gets me excited. There's talk about integrating this device into workflows that have nothing to do with its original purpose. We're not just talking about speeding up X or Y, we're talking about opening doors to entirely new possibilities. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, okay, fine, it sounds cool and all, but how much is it? Well, let me tell you, the price is one thing that's already sparked a lot of debate. Some claim it's worth every penny while others say it's overpriced. So here's what I want to do next. Give you an idea of just how quickly this device can pay for itself. Think about all those hours you could save or the work you could get done more efficiently. It's not just a question of saving time, it's about creating value with your life. Of course, there are going to be skeptics, people who will say it's just another fad, another gadget that will collect dust on a shelf. But I'd argue that the real test is whether or not this device can actually follow through on its promises. So let me ask you, have you ever been blown away by a product, one that genuinely changed your life for the better? If so, then what made it so special? Was it speed, accuracy, something else entirely? I've found something interesting. It seems like reviewers who are most satisfied with the Quick 936A tend to be those who approach it from an entirely different angle. They're not just looking at its raw specs or features, they're thinking about what this device can do for them as a whole. In other words, it's not just a product, it's an ecosystem that deserves attention and care. And with that in mind, I'd like to pose the question: are you using your current tools and methods to their full potential? I've got one more thing to say before we wrap up this review. Make sure you check out the link in the description below for the best price on Amazon. The Quick 936A might not be perfect, but it's certainly an intriguing device that deserves our attention. As I mentioned earlier, reviewers have praised its efficiency and compatibility with various systems. However, there are a few red flags worth mentioning, mainly related to battery life and user error. So what do you think? Is the Quick 936A a game changer or just another overhyped gadget? Let me know in the comments below.